And hello all my fellow nerds out there, this is Local Nerd Richie and welcome back to When the Wind Blew You Away. So last part we figured out the backstory of Amanda here, and she reunited with her old childhood friend Peter, if I remember right. So now we're going to be continuing the story right where we left off, which was here. When I arrived at class, Peter is already at the back of the class as expected. And he has his noise-canceling headphones on his ears and is reading a book. Oh! Peter, who looked up to see you enter the classroom, notices my surprised expression. Taking off his headphones, he asks me, "Is there anything wrong, Amanda? Is this Wuthering Heights?" "Yes, it is. You know it?" "Who doesn't? It's a classic." I answer as a smile forms on my face. And without even realizing, I'm the one going to Peter's desk this time around. He puts aside from his belongings to offer me some room to sit on his table. I take a look at the number of pages he's read. It's not much. "Oh, you just started?" "Yes, I started this morning on my way to school." "Oh, you must have good taste then. It's my favorite book." "Is it really?" You look surprised. "Well, so far I don't like it that much, I fear." Ouch! This simple sentence makes me realize that seeing someone criticize your favorite book is actually worse than listening to someone criticize your music taste. "Really? Why is that?" Peter, noticing my disappointed expression, takes his time to think of a clear yet gentle answer to give. "I don't like that there are too many names, too many people. Like, how many Catherines are there? and that I don't have enough time to get accustomed to them." "Oh, your point is quite valid, actually." I offer Peter a gentle smile before looking at the cover of his book, and intuitively, without realizing, I put my hand on his holding the novel. But the book isn't an easy one, as it expects the reader to get really involved at the beginning. But if you give it the time it needs, it will. My eyes leave the book cover to look at Peter's curious expression, and before my voice gets caught in my throat, I only manage to complete my explanation with a clumsy "open up." And at this moment, I'm hit by a realization. The fact that there is more to a book than the first pages, or its cover. That some things need time to be fully understood. Maybe that's what I should give Peter. I've always felt hurt and been angry at him for having left without telling me, but I never thought that maybe he had reasons. Reasons he couldn't tell. Reasons he didn't feel like sharing. Reasons I never suspected. As if everything was about me. As if he couldn't have his own struggles. His own life. Maybe he couldn't tell me his family would move out. But I can't think of a reason. It's not as if his parents were international spies or something. But even though I can't suspect the reasons, it doesn't mean they don't exist. But nature looks so savage, so alive in what I read so far. I like that in comparison, so I hope there's more of it in what happens next. Peter doesn't seem to realize the emotional epiphany I've just had. Well, he's never been one to easily understand people's emotions. Not that he doesn't care about others, or he just seems to be unable to notice. But what Peter can notice is unusual silence, interrupting himself while talking about how birch can help healing some wounds. He raises a concerned eyebrow. "Amanda, is there anything wrong?" Tell him what's on your mind. That there's nothing. I mean, you might as well be honest. Tell him what's on your mind. Right? Well, there is... Pierre closes his book and focuses on me, ready to listen. What I'm going to say isn't easy, but... It's never easy to open up your heart, right? You must have noticed I have behaved quite coldly towards you. Peter, not leaving his gaze, nods. I used to know he noticed, but I mean, what was I expecting? Well, there's a reason. I don't say it's a good reason, but there's one nonetheless. And I suppose you didn't get it yet. Peter sighs, shakes his head this time around. No, I didn't. I'm sorry, Amanda. I've never been good at understanding implied things. I like it better when things are said clearly. I know it made you mad, but I don't really know why. I wish I would. So that I can fix things? Peter seems hesitant as he says that. I suppose he's opening up too. He has an answer. I shake my head too. Please don't apologize. It's not your fault you didn't understand. It's my fault I wasn't clear enough. So my reason, and once again, Peter looks at me with innocent eyes. He's genuinely curious about the reason I have hard feelings with him. This moves me more than it should. Maybe he's just been trying his best the whole time. I take a breath. Get a hold of yourself, Amanda. It's not that serious. It's just that ever since you left when we were children, I've been mad at you. Peter looks genuinely surprised. He really wasn't expecting me to feel that way. Well, can't blame him for that. I've been mad at you for moving out without telling me. It's silly because when you were a child, I suppose you just didn't understand that you would go to another school. So don't feel bad because it's not your fault, but I've nonetheless had this resentment. And this resentment has been preventing me from rebonding with you. I'm afraid you will leave again. I'm afraid that I'll be alone again. This time Peter puts a hand on mine and he shakes his head. Amanda, I'm here to stay. My expression changes as I am genuinely shocked by his answer. I was not expecting that. Okay, hold up. I gotta turn the music down. It's like really loud. Let's just stick with the shoujo art style. If I didn't tell you, Amanda, it's not because I didn't want to, or because I didn't realize that I would be enrolled in a whole new school. It's just that I wasn't given a choice. I could not tell you I had to move out, even though I wanted so much. I noticed that Peter must be quite emotional, as he's stuttering more than usual. He used to stutter more when he felt intense emotions, when we were children. But why did you move out, Peter? My question makes him wince, which makes me understand he's not ready yet to disclose the reasons. I'm sorry, I'm not ready to talk about this. It would help me, you don't have to. I mean, you don't really have to force it. I mean, it's best not to force it out of him. Cause like, you can't really just... Cause like, it's best to not force them unless they're ready to tell you about it, right? At least that's what I think. You don't have to. I put a gentle hand on his shivering shoulder. It's okay, Peter. Even if you never feel ready, it's okay. But I like to be, though. And I promise that someday I'm going to tell you everything. You don't have to promise me anything. You don't owe me. I know, but I want to. I just need time. I just answered with a gentle smile, and to my surprise, I realized we're holding hands. I suppose we both needed more solid support than words. I have to admit that I'm a bit unsettled by the fact that we held hands without noticing or without even voicing it. We just did somehow. As if this contact was the most natural thing. like breathing, smiling, or sweating in the summer. Things that feel so natural that you don't question them. They just feel right. They just feel right. Does holding Peter's hand feel right? Peter finally noticing blushes a bit, but he doesn't let go of my hand. He just asks, "Does that mean we can become friends again?" Without letting go of his hand, I answer, looking forward to discovering who you become. When I open the classroom door, I am barely surprised to see Peter reading a book. Is it me, or is he arriving more and more early? Well, it makes sense. I suppose he grew accustomed again to the town. So it's no wonder he now finds his way better. And as he usually does, Peter raises his head to see who's entered the classroom, and putting a huge smile on his face, he runs to me. "Hi, Amanda." Peter enthusiastically shakes his hand as he sees me. He holds some sheets of paper. "Hi, Peter. You look excited." "I'm thrilled. And may I know why?" "I have a great idea to get to know each other." I raise a curious and interested eyebrow. Don't people just get to know each other by hanging out? He must have made friends ever since. Now that I notice, and although he's actually a handsome guy, has nobody approached him so far. Not even Julie, although she supposedly has a crush on him. Is it because of his stammer? It can't throw people away. It can't throw people away now, can it? People aren't that mean. Has he been alone all these years? I printed the Proust questionnaire. Confusedly blinking, I asked, "What is that?" "A questionnaire with questions we can answer to get to know each other. Like, the first question is, what is your favorite virtue?" "What? Why does it sound like philosophy?" "Do you find it philosophical?" "Yes, virtue and stuff. I need some inspiration. What is yours?" "Patience." I mean, patience is a virtue. It's kind of one of the more obvious ones, though. Peter immediately answers without an ounce of doubt and hesitation, which impresses me. I mean, trying to find an appropriate answer would take me way more time, and even so, I wouldn't declare so confidently. Patience? Why? Well, sometimes I need time to understand or do some things. So, like, even talk. So, I like it when people allow me to take my time. Oh. I'm surprised by how down-to-earth that his answer is. I suppose that's logical. He must appreciate it when people don't grow tired of his stuttering and let him take his time to speak. See? Easy as pie. No need to get philosophical. What is something nice to like about others? Something nice to like about others? A virtue I like about them. Sincerity. Oh, that's important too. Maybe. It's just that, well, being comfortable enough with someone to set your own boundaries and to tell about the weight in your heart. That's what I like about others. Peel lets out the cutest laugh I've ever heard. Jeez, it makes my heart skip a beat. You got more philosophical than me. But you're right. People never dare say what they have on their mind. Well, they do when they're mean and want to say mean things. I think everything would be easier if we just told each other what we felt. Like, hey, I want to hang out with you, instead of, oh, it'd be nice to have a friend's company, or things like that. You're a bit at a loss when implicit in social relations, aren't you? Yeah, I'm trying, but I really can't figure it out. But let's continue. Do you have a favorite color, Amanda? Okay, if she says green, I'm gonna predict that it's green. I'm pretty surprised. He's really focused on this questionnaire, isn't he? Not really. I believe what's beautiful in a color is the way it harmonizes with others. Do you know that was Proust's answer? Is it? Yes, I guess you're more philosophical than you think after all. Stop making fun of me, I say, putting a gentle tap on Peter's shoulder. And you, what's your favorite color? Ginger. Wait, isn't that the color of her hair? And although he said that as confidently as his previous answer, this time around Peter ends up blushing. Oh. Sorry about that. Oh, it looks like my keyboard finally decided to fix itself. He taps his own chest as he coughs. Orange. I meant orange. It reminds me of the leaves falling from the trees in autumn. Like your necklace? Yeah, it's a cool necklace, huh? Wouldn't have pegged you for a fashion victim. Peter answers with an amused smile before looking at his necklace. He is then struck by some sort of illumination. Hey, is this forest we went to once with school? Once the school is still around here? Wow, old memory unlocked. I haven't gone there in years, but I guess so. Would you like to go there with me this weekend? You want to go there? Uh-huh. What the heck is that word? Loquaciously? I've never heard of that word. What does that word even mean? Hold up. Loquacious, tending to talk a great deal or talkative. Oh. He loquaciously answers, even accompanying his interjections with a nod of the head. I love going with you. I don't mind going with you? Alright, I would love to go with you. Offering her just a smile answer, I would love going with you, Peter. Peter blushes and yet puts on a radiant smile on his face. Oh, I'm so excited then. Oh, he's bouncing up and down. It's so cute. We still chat about the Proust questionnaire after that before he goes back to his desk when the teacher arrives. Philosophy class starts and surprisingly, it does seem easier now that Peter has noticed that I'm a philosophical person. Oh? Another memory. Hey Amanda, did you know that acorns were used to make flour before? Really? Yes, but it was mostly used to feed pigs. I didn't know pigs ate flour. Me neither. I read that in my encyclopedia. This is so cool. Peter puts out a proud smile on his face. And did you know some oaks didn't lose their leaves during the winter? But not all though? The Quercus rhizophilia. The Quercus rhizophilia doesn't lose its leaves. It's in Mexico. Oh, in Mexico? Yeah, too bad we can't see that. He crossed his arms behind his head and looked up to the oaks above us. I'd like to be able to— Whoa! I didn't even get a chance to read that. I'd like to be able to travel to Mexico in winter someday. I seriously am not able to read that. Hold up. Okay. To see the oaks with leaves, it'd be so cool. Ironically, tumbling on an acorn, Peter fell to the floor, hurting his left arm in the process. Wait, is that where his scar comes from? Ouch. Peter, are you alright? Peter immediately asked, running to Peter. No, he hurt his arm. Oh, let me see that. No. Peter grabbed his sleeve, covering his right arm to prevent his teacher from blowing it up. Come on, Peter, it's alright. I just need to check. She puts a reassuring hand on Peter's, who finally freed his sleeve from his grasp. A teacher unrolled it only to discover, why, Peter, how did you get all these bruises? Peter, looking timidly on the side, answered, stuttering more than usual. Right now, I just fell, so I got this. She looked at her convinced, and putting a benevolent smile, she whispered, We'll have to talk in the infirmary once we get back to school, right, Peter? And Peter shamefully nodded. I take a look at the trees around Peter and me. They're so green? But it's true that being surrounded by those trees, tall and proud, that have stood here for years, it's overwhelming, intimidating even. If it wasn't for the wind wafting through the leaves and branches, they would still be statues. It's amusing to think that they're actually alive, filled with whatever sap they take from the ground. Oh, I remember these oak trees. Not that they would have disappeared. Even they can live up to thousands of years after all. 1,000 years? I comment, unable to hide my surprise at this trivia. We really are insignificant in comparison. Yes, I mean, how many people have these trees seen? How many children explored these woods under their gaze? How many serial killers? Do trees make you think of serial killers? Well, a lot of bodies are hidden in the woods, more than murders actually. I didn't know you were a true crime fan. Are you of those who send love letters to serial killers? Gosh, no. Enjoying true crime is more about psychology than it's about murderers. Even if they have a sharp jawline. Goodness, what have you seen on the internet? Terrible TikTok edits of Cameron Herron. Oh my god. I don't think I've seen anything like that on TikTok, but my god, that's funny. He is a murderer, not a serial killer. Same difference? How can you know so many little details about trees and call all murderers serial killers? Well, I suppose I am less thorough about details when I don't really care about the topic. Not that it's bad to enjoy true crime, just that I'm not interested. Putting a hand on Peter's shoulder, I gently whisper, I know, don't worry. Peter sighs before realizing I'm too close to him, then takes a horrified step back, trying to hide his backpack from his sight. He insists not looking at it, as if it didn't have the shape of a picnic basket that they certainly hid inside. But being the nice person I am, of course, I pretend not to have noticed. Peter takes a look at his phone. Although it's almost noon, he says without realizing the although betrays the surprise he's planned. I still don't comment. Peter turns to me, putting his hands on his head and says, Amanda, I hope you're hungry. Yes? I didn't know what you like, so I brought sandwiches. I hoped it was right to pick. I made sure not to take anything too weird or peculiar, and don't worry, Peter, I'm sure it's fine. Answer with a gentle smile. After that, I'm surprised to see Peter take a picnic rug out of his backpack. He did think this thoroughly through. We chat and eat sandwiches, and fortunately, they taste normal. But we spend time in this picnic. But as we spend time in this picnic rug, I realize that I feel good by his side. I feel good with him. When he's here, the breeze isn't cold. It is warm and agreeable. The sun isn't blinding, and even the trees seem to have lovely smell. Which is a strange thing to focus on, since Peter doesn't really have a distinctive smell. He smells clean, but he certainly isn't the type to wear perfume. This thought makes me laugh. After some time, Peter lies on the floor, crossing his arms behind his head, and I join him. We're covered by the sky and surrounded by trees. Somehow it's in our piece of land, in our private garden. At this moment, I realize why Peter enjoys trees and staying in nature. He wouldn't phrase it that way, but it makes you feel at peace. Thank you, Peter. You're welcome? Peter confusedly responds, trying to understand what I mean. Thank you for having brought me here. It's peaceful, it's quiet, it's calm. I like it here. My friend offers me his biggest smile. I'm glad you think so. Maybe we can go back next week then. I know I would. I spent a good moment with you, Amanda. Sure, I'd love to. Okay, so the thing is that I also really like decisions like this because it really makes you think on how very little, like all the little things that people say impact others in a very big way. Like whether it be positive or, God forbid, negative. Like every little thing you do is, everything little thing you do affects someone else in a great way. Like whether it be good or bad, big or small, or I guess even smart or dumb. Like everything that humans do affects one another, and that's really saying something. Anyways, I'd love to. Peter, I'd love to. Answer without letting my eyes leave him. After that, we carry on talking a bit, albeit sporadically, as Peter and I look at the peaceful sky above us. I suppose it is endless too, just like the lifespan of an oak, just like its size. And who knows, perhaps just like the friendship forming between us. A few more minutes later, we decide to leave the forest before it gets too late. And somehow, I'm looking forward to seeing him on Monday in class, of course. But I'm also looking forward to next Saturday. Oh, and I didn't know lilies of the valley could be toxic. I comment as I'm sitting in a chair next to Peter's, looking at the encyclopedia he brought to school today. They say not to trust a book by its cover. Yes, but I think it's less about being beautiful than it is being everywhere. Than it being everywhere. I mean, florists sell those, you know? Oh, I guess you're right. But that would make a great plot point for a mystery novel. How so? I don't know. The murderer could poison someone with a cup of tea made with lilies of the valley? Oh, and to bring confusion to the princess of lilies of the valley, they could have noticed their victim had someone in a vase at home. Why are you so good at this? Peter asked with an amused smile. Putting a similar smile on my own face, I teasingly answer. Who knows? Maybe I have a plan. Well, if you have a plan, you have an accomplice. He winks at me as he makes his bold suggestion. You might be a victim. You'll show me around the woods. You'll show me around the woods. I suppose you'll show me the best place in the woods to bury a body on Saturday. At least that would feed the trees. I realize Max's frightened gaze is on us as we carry on joking about hiding a body. Turning to him, I say, So be careful who you want to bully. And he just leaves. Okay, bye. Max's cheeks turn red as he turns away. Well, I know he has a crush on me, but it seems like I'm not into bullying. But it seems like I'm not into bullies. Yeah, you think? After that, Peter and I continue studying and reading his encyclopedia. And as I am next to him reading this book, I realize that once again I feel good. More than good. Comfortable. At peace. Where I belong. Do I belong next to Peter? Just reading about trees, talking about our interests? When we do that, there's something beating in me, in my chest. Yeah, it's called your heart, girl. As if my heart was animated by 1,000 winds. Thousands of winds. When my shoulders brushes his, I feel good, close to him. and somehow I want to feel close to him, to be close to him. Amanda, are you alright? I look at him as I'm lost in my thoughts. Yes, I stuttered, despite myself. Peter answers with a cheerful smile before looking at his book once again. A cheerful smile that suits him. I'm surprised I haven't noticed earlier, but Peter is the type to smile a lot. I suppose he might be happy to fully be himself. It's true that Peter is peculiar. He always wears his noise canceling headphones. I can't read today. Fails to socialize with others, has his very own specific interests, and yet he embraces himself fully. He must be right. He cannot just try to be himself. Then I remember who I was as a child, and what I've become. The way we would carefreely play with Peter. The way it all changed when he left. I didn't want to be alone, so I tried to blend in, to erase everything specific about me. And I tried so hard that I forgot who I was, or at least what kind of relationships I wanted with people. I want to talk about more than how boring philosophy classes are. I want to peacefully look at the trees with a friend that's by my side. I want to be able to look around me and to find memories, evocations. I want the world around me to be filled with these winds that make my heart beat. When I look at Peter, I want to be as carefree as him. Not to bother with others with what they will think or what they will say. I just want to unapologetically be myself. To embrace what I feel without second guessing it. But then I remember Peter left. I still don't know the reason. I know it's unimportant, that it's no big deal, that I'm just being nosy. But trust him. He told you he were here to stay. Although I don't want to. I want to. I don't manage to totally give in. How could he know if that wasn't his plans back then? As long as this parasite thought that Peter might leave, and that I wouldn't have a clue why. I can't just abandon myself to my own feelings or wants. I can't decipher them, because they're all centered around Peter. Ooh! And I'm afraid to see everything explode. Of course, it's not like when we were kids. I have his phone number now, but calls are easy to ignore. A voice takes me out of my thoughts. Amanda, can I get my seat, or should I take yours? Blinking before realizing he's occupying the seat next to Peter. He's the one occupying the seat next to Peter as I stand up. No, sorry, I was spacing out. See you, Peter. I say with a smile, to which Peter answers with a nod of his head, before putting back his headphones on. Peter and I finally reach those woods together once again. We take a look around. The simple sight makes Peter let out a long sigh of peace. To be honest, I envy him. I wish I could be this peaceful, to just look at the trees and forget all my worries. But these feelings I have, obscure and conflicted, but around Peter. I like being around him. I like talking with him. I like staying by his side. But there is a weight on my heart, so heavy and so big that it casts a shadow on my feelings. If it were to leave, I would feel light. Well, lighter at least. Oh, Peter. I shiver as I simply think of his name. Peter. Amanda? Oh! Peter takes me out of my reverie, and I look at him with confused eyes. His expression is peculiar. He looks like he's hiding something, which is quite rare for him. Peter's the type to speak his mind. He's even able to roast someone without even realizing it. Can I be friends with Peter, please? So, what could he be hiding from me? But quickly enough, his expression dissipates and shows a playful smile. Don't you think this forest is the perfect place to play hide and seek? Well, a good place to hide a corpse must be a good place for hide and seek. Oh, quite the enchanting thought. Peter comments with an amused smile. But fine, let's hide the corpse. 1, 2, 3. It took me a while to realize that I'm the corpse in question. When I eventually do, however, I try to my best to find a tree to hide behind. What a perfect way to get lost in the woods, to starve to death and to rot. In the end, I just picked a random tree and I hide behind it. I'm not sure if this is the perfect spot, but since I can't see Peter, I suppose it's still pretty good. And I somehow hope he still finds me. Waiting alone for too long can be quite boring. And that's not the kind of thoughts I had during childhood. Well, I suppose learning to get bored during hide and seek is part of growing up. I take a look at the leaves of the trees above to kill time. I suppose I could have had some sort of poetic thought if we were in autumn and if they were falling. But seeing them so alive, so green, it feels comforting. Is nature growing back? After the cold of winter and the tribulations of spring, it finds a way to heal, to grow fruits again. But does winter leave on its own, or does spring chase it away? Oh! How can I bring the winds of spring to my heart? Oh, he's kind of behind him. I suppose I somehow managed to find a way to make it poet. I feel someone grabbing me from behind, gently tugging my waist, hugging my waist. I let out a quick scream as I see Peter's laughing face. Found you! I look at him, and without controlling it, I smile back. Peter is comforting. Peter is so joyous. Peter is fun to be around. I can talk about my weird obsessions for true crime. I can just lie down in the grass, looking at the wind in the trees, at the clouds slowly moving in the sky, without feeling alone. When he looks at me like that, with glee and joy, my heart gets a beat and struggles to catch its usual tempo. Seriously, girl, just kiss him already, please! Oh my god, dude. It beats at the rhythm of nature around us, of the trees, of the flowers, the fruits, of the sun even. And it is filled with wind, not the cold winds that contrast intense it. No, it's different. It's... Amanda, are you alright? Peter, I answer with a muffled voice. I take a sigh. What's wrong? Come on, Amanda, just explain everything. That your feelings are confusing. That there's this weight on your heart preventing you from understanding your own emotions. I look at Peter. His gaze is comforting, encouraging even. All these years, I had a lot of classmates. Some so-called friends, but nobody has ever looked at me like that. Peter, when I see you, when I spend time with you, I feel things. I don't exactly know what these things are. But I feel good around you, comfortable, fine. I feel like I belong. Surprisingly enough, the more I talk, the clearer my feelings get. And I know that if I let down my guard, if I just dared to completely give in to this warmth you're bringing into my life, if I let the wind carry me, I'd feel everything more intensely, and it would be good. I could just embrace everything and feel at peace, but I'm afraid, Peter. What if I let everything rest upon you? What if the wind blows you away once again? What if you were not to stay and left after I felt the intensity of my own feelings? I cannot go back on what I am now, to what I pretend to be. Peter, I forgot who I was, how I wanted to live my life, but you reminded me of everything. You woke up a part of me I had forgotten. This girl who would call her best friend Mr. Big Tree, because she was impressed by him. Because she was in love with him. There it is, finally! Oh, it's about time you said it. I don't realize I said that out loud. That I told Peter I loved him when we were children. But now? What about now? What am I feeling? Peter looks aside, but quickly he turns back to me and smiles. Amanda, I did have a happy childhood. But the truth is, you're the only one who made this childhood happy. But I was constantly picked on because of my stammer. I never understood why people found it so funny. It's not my fault. And you were my only friend. Not that I would complain. I didn't care about having friends. But I was bothered by the bullying. And at home, Peter looks emotional. It's a strange expression on his face. He usually looks so peaceful, but now he's shaken. If it's too hard, you don't have to. No, I want to tell you. I want you to feel at peace. I want you to know I never gave up on you. At home, my parents were quite abusive, and they couldn't stand that I wasn't a normal child. Like, my weird hyperfixations, my inability to understand the codes of socialization, even my stammer, to be honest. They were all excuses to criticize me, to treat me like trash, to hit me even. Your parents are assholes. Look at this scar on my arm. I had a feeling that this scar came from something. I just didn't want to really say what. I noticed Peter had a scar on his arm, but I never asked. We all have some sort of scar on our bodies. But now that I know where the one on his left arm is from, Peter, I'm sorry. Don't be. It's not your fault. But yeah, my father, I'd rather call him my progenitor did that. So when our teacher noticed, she called a social worker who didn't take long to realize what was going on. So Chloe, it was her name, helped me find a new home, and my adoptive parents are great people. These are my real parents. The ones who loved me with my struggles and my interests, the ones who taught me I was allowed to grow as I am, instead of trying to fit a closed-minded box. Even right now, we're talking about getting diagnosed with autism. We're not sure what I have, but they're looking for tools. Because they actually want to care about me. I take a look at Peter. His emotions are so pure. He really loves his adopted parents. I'm glad he found them. Or rather, I'm glad they found him. Who knows what would have happened if he had remained with his abusive household. So, yeah. They are amazing. I hope you guys can meet someday, because you are all fantastic. But the only problem is that they live a bit far. Which isn't a problem in itself, but Peter takes a breath before continuing, trying to tame his overwhelming emotions. Somehow, we're more similar than I thought. I wanted to find my best friend. I really missed you all these years, Amanda. They were happier. But I couldn't be truly happy, truly at peace. Because I'm just like you, Amanda. I need to feel at peace, to feel like I belong. Believe it or not, I didn't manage to make a single friend all these years. So my parents suggested to help me find an apartment nearby. They told me they would pay for it. I didn't want them to spend more money on me, but I couldn't refuse either. I needed you, Amanda. So it took some time, but we found, and although it was already so late in the school year, I couldn't step back. I needed to find you. I needed to find this girl from childhood, who was my best friend, and my first love. Aww, it's so cute. I wanted to see who she's become. I wanted to see if she was as marvelous as I remembered. And I found out she's even better than how my fading memories pictured her. When Peter says that, I blush. Is this a confession? I was afraid at first because you were quite unwelcoming. but somehow I could feel deep down that you were still you. That maybe I just needed to, I don't know, give you time to let me enter your life? As Peter starts expanding his feelings, the wind starts to blow harder, wafting through our clothes and our hair. Is it here to take Peter away? Is it howling because it has finally brought him where he was meant to be? Yes, I was afraid you become like everyone else, despising me because I'm not socially capable or because I stutter when I speak. When you told me it was because you spent years wondering why I left, I was relieved. Relieved you didn't just get insensitive. Relieved that you thought about me as much as I thought about you. But I'm sorry you thought of me because of such bitter feelings. Because I've always wanted to go back to you. I've been longing for you, Amanda. Oh, she's crying. And I hope you know I didn't leave because I didn't care. Actually, I've always cared, Amanda. I never cared more about anything but you. When I came here and saw that you still had that flame, that's something which makes you, you. That it only grew bigger, although you repressed it. Oh, Amanda, it reminded me of how much I loved you. Your humor, your passion for your interests, your laugh, your murmurs, your eyes, your hands, your touch, your freckles, the way your mind wanders, and a lot of other things that would bother me if they were on others. They all feel so beautiful in you, so soft, so right. You're the only one I can hug, the only one whose arms make me feel safe. You're the only one I can hug. The only one who's... Oh, wait, sorry. That I didn't think it'd repeat for some reason. The only one whose arms are warm. If only I was better at this. If only I had the words to express how mushy yet passionate I feel inside. If only I could tell you all you inspire me. Peter, realizing he's certainly losing track of what he wants to say, stops and takes a breath. When I had to move out, you know that was my biggest regret. Peter looks at his feet with a sad smile, certainly reminiscing his past. It was that I never got to tell you what I really felt about you. But now I can say it, so hear me out. He stops looking at his feet, and he looks deeply in my eyes, with a tender smile on his face. I love you, Amanda. Aww. A million winds flew through my heart, my veins. My whole body feels transported, flying almost. I feel light, but more than light. I feel alive. I feel alive. I'm alive. So, this was it? All these tormented feelings about Peter and that I was afraid to let out, they feel good. And this whole time, it was love? I rushed into Peter's arms, not holding back tears of joy I want to shed. Oh, Peter, I love you. I love you. Now that it is said, I feel a complete peace, light as a feather. I feel strong, beautiful, quirky, endearing, charming, proud, kind, empathetic, entrancing. I feel like me. It feels good. It feels so good to feel free from questions, from torments, from doubts, and just to let everything go. To let the wind blow all my pain away. This is what my heart was concealing, what it didn't want to share with you. I was afraid of you leaving me like what happened, but now that I know you never left me, now that I know I never left you either, that you went all the way back just for me, I know you'll never disappear. Even if the wind takes you away, you'll find another zephyr to bring you back to me. I'm not afraid anymore, Peter. I'm not afraid of loving you. Peter looks at me with fond and moved expression. It must feel good as good to hear to hear as it is to say. So, what are we doing now? I grab Peter's hand, and without even thinking, I bring him to a pond nearby. it's not really deep, but it's deep enough for us to get wet. To carefreely splash at each other. Just Peter and me, in the greatness of nature, not thinking about anything else than just having fun. You can splash me, but an oak will never bend. Well, then I think Mr. Big Tree should read Aesop's The Oak and the Reed. He'd be surprised. I jokingly answer while splashing him again. He covers his face to avoid getting water in his eyes, but he answers with a laugh and plot twist by splashing me again. I guess we're playing like children, but it feels good to finally be able to do so. I forget the weight of the years that passed. I forget my doubts, my desolation, my solitude. I now have someone I can just be around without second guessing anything. Peter will never find me weird. Peter will never find me cheesy. Peter will never find me contemplative. Too contemplative. And I'll never find him ridiculous. I'll never find him boring. I love him for everything he is. We play for a bit, but before we decide to take a break and dry our clothes. Peter makes a fire camp. I didn't know he could do that, but he learned so well studying wood. His passion for the trees, after all. Hey Amanda, come here. I obey as Peter gently hugs me, then timidly asks, will you be my girlfriend? I look at him fondly, and to be honest, even a bit amused. Isn't the answer obvious at this point? Of course I will. Oh, they deserve each other. But as I stare more deeply, I see his eyes in an instant a wish to the one lying in my heart, and without pronouncing another word, we shared a kiss. Aww. And surprisingly enough, I feel even lighter, as if I was on the moon. This moment is tender, a moment of intimacy, of pure sweetness. I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world. This moment, simple as it is the answer to all my previous doubts, all my questions. That's why the wind blew him away. That's why it brought him back. We needed to grow. We needed to long for each other. We needed to be ready to love each other, to embrace this moment. To never let it get extinguished, like this fire behind us. To feel that love that makes us feel alive. Love, it's what makes us feel alive. And if everything that happened to help us reach this conclusion, then I don't regret anything. I'm just happy to be with him, by his side, in his arms. Peter, as if he didn't dare talk over a crackling fire, whispers between my lips, I love you. And without leaving his, I answer back, I love you too, Peter. Aww. The wind howled for us. Good ending. Oh, this was amazing. Oh, I absolutely loved this. I can see why Care Patch Games was so excited for this game. It's so good. Dude. Special thanks to all the friends who supported this game's development, to Butter for helping me with the choose just right style screen, to me Licorice for helping me create the toggle for the typewriter effect, to Helen and Sela for the drawings of Amanda and Peter during development, and to all the friends who accepted to be sensitivity readers, to Kawaii-chan for the tutorial, and of course, thank you for playing the game. Extra thanks if you take the time to go on my itch page to share your thoughts with me. Aww, that was adorable. This was probably the most adorable game I've ever played. Oh, this game deserves way more attention than some people give it for. But yeah, that's gonna do it for When the Wind Blew You Away. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like Comment what you think, share this with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.
You say you wanna try, but you never do.